supporting women isn't radical.
Hi, I'm here at the Women's Right March because I feel like women's rights have been trampled on and that the government is intent on taking away our right to choose for our bodies what we need. And so I need to protest that. That's my basic line.
And if we fail to do that, what are we in jeopardy of losing?
We'll be going backwards.
Okay.
We've progressed so far that women have the equal right to choose what they are. So why don't men have same rules imposed on their bodies? Why do they get their Viagra and why do we have to give up our rights to abortion? I mean, I think that's not fair.
And not even get birth control.
Yeah, no birth control either.
Compensated for.
Yeah, so I feel like that's going backwards. Women already fought this fight and we're fighting it again, and there's no reason for it.
Right.
That's my take.
And then if we trample on the rights of women, someone else I interviewed said that it's trampling on everything's rights.
Yes,
the environment,
because,
immigrant, the world.
Yes, I agree. It doesn't stop there. Where do you draw the line?
Right.
If you can't respect a woman's right to choose, then where do you draw the line?
Right.
Yeah.
So clean energy,
everything becomes fair game then to just say, okay, well, we'll just do it our way and ignore everybody else's views.
And Trump's line yesterday where he invoked that this was an election giving the power back to the people. What do you think?
His people. What
His
people? Not my people. My people are here.
I wish he backed it up with the people that he appointed to his cabinet.
Right. What do you think of his appointments?
I think that they're not aligned with what he's saying. If he wants to give power back to the people, he shouldn't give it to a bunch of billionaires who have offshore accounts.
But his line is that they know what they're doing and they made $1 billion, so they'll do the same thing.
And they'll keep doing it for themselves, not for us.
Right.
We don't see where it helps the common person.
Exactly.
How does it help the common person?
So
Their
my
viewpoint is
book
separate.
oddly envisions corporate states in the future. So do you think we're in danger of becoming like a corporate state?
Yes.
Yes, if we continue this way, yes.
Yes.
I think that's one of the biggest issues. The fact that we live in a capitalist nation, how do we make sure that corporations are held responsible for people and for people's rights? That's most important.
And money, it seems like money does a lot of talking, but is that what we should measure our future on?
Absolutely not, because money is doing a lot of talking, but it's also continuing to stay in the same circles. Our gap is
smaller.
Yeah, smaller. Our gap is becoming larger and larger.
An ingenious device for obtaining profit without individual responsibility.
Successful, why didn't he choose those who are conscious of our environment, of
There
our
are many.
future? There's so many out there. He chose the ones who don't care.
Climate
about these
change
issues.
impacts
It's actually
everyone.
taken a lawsuit against, is it our EPA director?
Yes.
A lawsuit against the EPA.
If you're saying you're working for the people, that doesn't work for the people.
It
Go
doesn't.
ahead, pick successful billionaires. Pick the ones that care about the world.
And didn't even in the his pre-term part, didn't he want to get a list of all the EPA workers that worked on climate change issues?
Yes.
Was that's kind of scary, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
kind of like
and
the
to
Mark-
choose Rick Perry, who doesn't even know what the EPA stands for, and who wanted to close it down, is just ridiculous.
I mean, I think Obama said it perfectly in his farewell speech. Our children are not going to have the time to argue whether climate change is real. They're going to just have to argue. It's going to be such a dire situation. They're going to have to figure out how to deal with it. So it's really pointless to argue with science right now.
Right. And if we. How much time do you think we have before we go over the edge where we can't argue anymore and we just have to deal?
Well, it depends where you live.
Yeah,
I mean, that's true. Florida, Miami is going to be going underwater in another 30 years.
We're extremely lucky living in D.C.
Yeah. We're going to be, coastal front property soon, so...
We'll be okay. Our land value will go up.
That's true.
My son lives in Miami, and he says, there's a rainfall over 3 inches and everything's flooded.
Yep.
And the ocean comes in.
3
so,
inches.
It's happening already.
Yeah.
The city of Miami is making preparations to evacuate areas because they can't save it.
Oh my gosh, this is what I do in my future fiction book. And what happens is we go bankrupt. Every country in the world goes bankrupt. The only entities big enough to save us are multinational corporations. So they bail out, they move New York City, they move Atlanta,
Is that
they
what
move
your
Florida.
book is?
Yeah, that's what my book is about.
Capitalism?
Yeah. Well,
Taking over the world?
They do. So they become corporate states, and because the companies invested so much in I know. They feel like these countries become part of their corporation.
It's a BBC TV show also.
It
The
could-
sci-fi BBC sci-fi TV show. It's a corporation takes over the running of a country and how it polices the state.
So I take this the next step further. I make every country a corporate state, and now we have corporate billionaires. I even go beyond billionaires. I have a number even beyond that.
I would think so.
Right. Really big, and so I invented one corporate leader that has a vision to transform human consciousness and he's taken us slowly in the right direction.
I guess
And
we're
then
marching.
another corporate leader gets rid of him and takes us the other way and erases everything we've done. And that's where it starts.
Wonderful. Do you have a card?
I do. So I will give you